everyone, today I will be comparing the Real Techniques Miracle Complexion Sponge to the Fenty Beauty Sponge, and we'll see how they worked on my face and which one I prefer. And I'm also going to be comparing it to the Beauty Blender and another sponge, so if you want to keep watching, let's get right into it. Alright, so the Real Techniques, the Miracle Complexion Sponge, looks like this. Mine is very beat up, so please excuse me. I'm gonna toss it after the video. Just held on to it for the purpose of this video. This is my third sponge that I've gone through, and yes, I agree with everyone else. They used to be better back in the day. I don't know what they did, but it's a lot firmer and it's just not the same. So I wish that they brought the old type of sponge back, because the new ones, like, I won't be repurchasing any more of the sponges after this one. Anyway. So the flat side is great for getting in that area, like right around your nose. And the pointed part of the sponge I like using to get as close as I can just to my eye area. And it's great for just like using to conceal blemishes. I usually pick mine up at Walmart, and I know they sell them in the 2-pack or the 6-pack. And the 2-pack is around $13 or $14. Alright, so let's open the box up. And I bought it online during Sephora's VIB sale for 20% off, and it retails on the website for $20 Canadian. Okay, so it's just in plastic, so it's sanitary. So it says on the side, precise, versatile, expert blending for all formulas, and it says to use damp for buildable coverage or dry for full coverage. And of course I'm going to use it damp. So this is not wet yet, but this feels very, very bouncy. And I was reading online that this edge right over here is great to apply close to the eye area. And then you can obviously roll the product on using this side. And this edge right over here is meant for stippling on the foundation. So this is dry right now. I haven't wet it yet, but hold on. I'm gonna get my Beauty Blender. I want to compare how soft they are against each other. Okay, I got it. So this one is new. I haven't used either one, and I'm not doing a comparison between these two sponges because so many other people already have done it, and I feel like it makes more sense to compare these two. This one is pretty soft actually, like they're both soft, but I'm impressed by how soft the sponge is, to be honest with you. So let's just compare really quickly. Like, to be honest with you, I love sponges with pointed tips. Like, I have the two sponges from the e.l.f. Precision Trio kit, so I used the larger one, and like I use it to death pretty much because I don't have it anymore. I had to toss it. So I really like the pointed edges. So let's see how the flat edge compares. I'm really intrigued because I haven't used a sponge that doesn't have the pointed tips, so let's give it a shot. So all I've done to my face, I've honestly just moisturized and I've primed my face. There's no concealer, there's nothing on my face, so I'm going to go in with the Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place makeup, and it is in the shade 1N1 in Ivory Nude because I'm very fair right now. I do have an entire review on this particular foundation, so I'll list it down below. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the Real Techniques sponge on the right side of my face, and I'm going to use the Fenty Beauty Sponge on the left side of my face. I don't know if this is a hack or not, like if I'm way too lazy just to go to my bathroom to dampen my makeup sponge, like this one has already been wet, but this one I haven't. I literally just take a bottle of water, and then don't worry, there's a towel right underneath me, so I take the sponge and then I just put water, and I just put water on it. And there's a towel underneath me, so don't even worry, like I do this all the time. Especially if I'm getting ready in the morning and I'm in a huge rush. This is literally what I do. I always keep a bottle of water around me, so. Okay, so now the sponge is nice and damp. Okay, so I'm just gonna shake up the foundation. So what I'm gonna do, I have a mixing plate by Crown Brush, and I'm just going to put some of the foundation. I'm going to put some of the foundation right on the mixing plate, and then I'm going to go in with my sponge, and then I'm just going to apply on the corresponding face depending on which sponge I'm using. So I kind of know how this already works, so I'm not going to spend too much time on it, so let's get started. And I'm going to apply 2 layers of this foundation onto my face, just a heads up. I love this foundation. So this is 1 layer on my right hand side. So I'm going to go in with the Fenty Beauty Sponge, and I'm going to apply one layer of foundation on the left side of my face. I heard that this sponge absorbs a lot of product, so let's see. It feels very soft on my face right now. It's very bouncy. I do like it. It does absorb a lot of the product. I will admit that. Like, do you see? It's hard for me to have an opinion right now, but if you look, this side right over here, this is the Real Techniques side and this is the Fenty Beauty side with one layer. So I'm gonna apply one more layer because it's kind of hard to have an opinion. So let's do one more layer. Okay, the second layer is done with the Real Techniques sponge. Now, Fenty Beauty Sponge going in for the second layer. Okay, I'm back now and I have 2 layers on each side of my face, and I want to say that I do like how lightweight this is, and I do like the flat top right over here. You know what it reminds me of? It does remind me, sorry this is really dirty, of a makeup sponge, the triangular makeup sponge. It reminds me of that. I don't know if that's what they were going for, but it reminds me of that so much because you can just use the side and get really close underneath your eye, and this is what this reminds me of exactly, and I think it's genius. I feel like when I use it, I will use more so the flat side. Like I said, it's very lightweight and it would be great to take with you traveling because look at the size comparison. This is a lot smaller, so you would save a lot of room. So I would definitely take this when I travel. I want to see how well it cleans. I'm not going to do it in the video, I'll just list it down below with like an update or whatever, because I remember I really liked the Miracle Sculpting Sponge by Real Techniques, the pink one of this, and I remember when I washed it like twice, it ripped. I was like, what the heck? So I'm gonna see how this one washes. I like that it's not white because the Precision Sponge Trio, these are white and they get so stained. So this one is kind of like a tannish light beige color, so then you can't really see the foundation as much. Just people who are like OCD or just hate things that look dirty even though you wash them a million times. This is really smart. The shade on the sponge is a very great idea rather than this, because I've washed these numerous times and they just get stained. This one you can't tell as much, so that's very clever. I feel like there was a lot of thought put into this sponge and it's a really good design, and I feel like I don't know why people aren't talking about this sponge more. And if you're wondering if it will replace my Real Techniques Miracle Complexion Sponge, I would say yes, because whatever they're doing to the new sponges, I don't like it at all and I'm just over it. I want them to bring back how the sponge was, and because of that, I just don't like the new one. This will replace it, but will it replace my beauty blender? That's really hard to say. I feel like I would want to have them both on hand. I wouldn't swap it out just yet, like I'm not ready for that. On the Sephora website, the Beauty Blender does retail for $28 Canadian and this is only $20. It is a little bit cheaper, but again, I want to have both on hand at all times. I'm not ready to make that switch. That's asking a lot. And for a closer look, you can see how the Fenty Beauty Sponge applied the makeup on the left side of my face. This is the Real Techniques on the right side of my face. And overall, yes, it did absorb a little bit more of the product, but that doesn't really bother me because all sponges absorb product. And yes, I feel like it did absorb a little bit of the product, but not as much as people are making it out to seem. Like, people are acting like it's like absorbing so much product, like half of the bottle, but it's not absorbing that much more. Overall, I give this my stamp of approval. And for beginners, I really feel like you have to go over the 3 different sides and know what each purpose for each side is, and then your life will be a lot easier, because if you don't really know which side does what, you'll just use it and you'll be confused and be like, I don't like it. So as long as you kind of get the basics on what each side does for your face, you'll be a lot happier rather than going in with this and then you can figure it out. This one, is very well thought out. Like I thought, and each side serves a purpose, so get familiar with that. Okay, so I'm gonna do the rest of my face and I'll come back and do a proper outro for you guys. And for the previous clip, I know someone's gonna make a comment. I always apply foundation on my lips to conceal, so apologies. I know someone's gonna go off in the comments down below, so I'm just gonna address it before y'all do. Alright, so to wrap up this video, I was very impressed, and I actually tried baking with this sponge off camera and I loved it. The flat edge makes it perfect for baking, and I baked right underneath my contour and right underneath my eyes. I love this sponge. I would highly recommend it, so don't sleep on this sponge. It's really good. And also, this applied my concealer flawlessly, like flawlessly. I was so impressed of how it applied my concealer, and it was perfect for getting around the eye area. So, alright, that's all for this video. Now I need to go. I have like a million things to do. I already had to leave once, hence why the lighting looks different. So if you haven't done so already, make sure to subscribe, hit that thumbs up to like this video, and I have more content coming your way very soon, so don't miss out on it. So bye everyone.